Good evening and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of Golden Lab. Welcome back, guys. We are back for another race here today, guys. It is race number 8 of season 9. And as things stand currently, we are looking good once again. Now, there was a slight hiccup a couple of races ago where Edward King unfortunately got a DNF. And suddenly everything was close again. Everything was much closer. But in the last 2 races, we have Edward King has taken the wins. Russo has managed to get a 4th and a 2nd. And ultimately, that means that Anders Nilsson has dropped to 107, Paul Woods 106, and Edward King is running away with the championship as things stand. Now, of course, with 3 races to go, the maximum amount of points that a driver can pick up is 26, 26, 26 for first place finishes alongside Golden Lap finishes. So if we add 26 onto 107, 52, and well, 26, 26, 52, 26 again, 78, that would take Anders Nilsson to 185. 185. Okay, so what Edward King needs to do in order to win this championship is simple. He needs to get to 186. What does that mean? Well, I'll figure it out for you. 35 points over the last 3 races. That's an average of, well, just under 12, obviously, 35. So 12, 24, 36, 35 to get to that 186. And just under 12, 12th is 4th, I believe. So 25 is first, 18, 15, 12 is 4th. So what does Edward King need to do? He needs to finish 4th or above in the last 3 races. If he does that, he is the champion. Hopefully, he'll get a win in the first race here today. And then the equation will drastically change. Now, the flip side of that is, on the team standings, it works a little bit differently. Wayland are actually a point ahead of Ezzolini. The gap is 45, and the most amount of points that you can take from a race is actually 44. So, we are nowhere near guaranteeing that title just yet. You know, 44, 88, 132... Is that correct? Yeah, I think that's correct. 132 means that Wayland can actually get to 299. So we need to get to 300 if we are going to guarantee the win. That means we need 88 points, which means we need 2 full first place and second place and Golden Lap. We don't get that very often. So we need to get to 300 points and Edward King needs to get to 186 points. That is the equation. Hope that's correct. I hope it is. All of that is just done on the top of my head now. I haven't written anything down. So hopefully that's correct. If it's not, you know, let me know in the comments, guys, if I've kind of messed up my adding up. Okay. So that is the equation. That is the equation. Now it's time for the press conference. So let's get into it. First comment is from Punk, who says the season is flying by. It is indeed. Thank you, Punk. Cobra with the first question. Pen letters, Ridgemont Fast Times. Edward King continues his reign as Nilsson seemingly pushes himself and his car to the edge of their ability. Some have suggested that an unhealthy rivalry has developed between Nilsson and King, and that may have been a factor in his accident. What comments does Knight offer as to the relationship between the 2 drivers? Well, what I would say, Edward King definitely wants to beat Anders Nilsson. No doubt about it. Edward King wants that championship, and whether or not drivers who respect each other, like each other, those are 2 different things. You know, you might have a competitive respect for one another. Doesn't mean you like each other. If you race fair, hard but fair, that respect should stay there. As soon as someone twists it, turns it over to the wrong, goes past the line, basically, I think that respect is gone. And then it turns into, dislike. It turns into, I'm not giving that guy anything. I think we're almost there with King and Nielsen, They're both fast. We know that. They're both fast. But I think Edward King is so close to the championship that he is getting to a point where he is like, no. I'm not giving anything away. So it's getting close. Laughing Dead with a comment. Good grief. Great race. Little bit of rubber on those tyres. Yep, that is true. I've got to try and fix that up. Now, Adam Hammer with 3 questions. 3 questions. Number 1, it appears Team Night was in sync this race. What changed between drivers, crew, and management? I think mostly last race I just had a plan. I had a clear plan that I wanted to stick to. And then, of course, every plan goes out the window. It does, inevitably. Not every plan. I say that like that's a sweeping statement. Not every plan. But I think I had a plan and I was good and I kept to it. And that's what I think changed. Is Nielsen showing cracks in the armour with back-to-back DNFs, or is he just making the championship more interesting for the upcoming wet races? No, I think the pressure has gotten to Nielsen a little bit. He is a champion. We know that. He is. He is a very good driver. But now Edward King is there and saying, I'm a good driver as well. I've got the car to compete. And, that DNF at the end of the last race, the race that we just had in Canada, I think. Yeah, in Canada, that was inexplicable. It was... I have no reason as to why or how Anders Nielsen lost it there, other than anger at not winning the race, frustration at not winning the race. That's all I can think it was. So, is King getting the Prince treatment by giving Russo better parts? King, Prince, I understand. Will King be crown champion or get royally won? You've got to stop with the puns. For the team championship. If Knight can't have both, which will management choose, the individual or the team? I actually think King is more likely to win the championship on his own than we are to win the team. So I'm going to keep to the strategy I've been working with. Giorgio comments, King Edward, thank you. Aaron Conway with a really interesting tip as to how we want to upgrade our parts. I read the whole thing, and in fact I did reply about whether or not we want to upgrade the reliability and then build the part, the reliability. I've actually done both sides of it, and sometimes it depends on how much money you've got. Like, we don't have a lot of money now, so all we've really got at the minute is enough money to build a part to keep us competing at the very top. And it's going to be a steering part that goes to, well, it'll go to Russo, and then Edward King will get the next part. But I have to build the part to make sure the team is progressing. I can't upgrade too much, really. But good comment either way, Aaron. Thank you for that. Next question. Actually, no, the question is from Aaron as well. So here we go. Another brilliant race and the first night 1-2 of the year, but with King Edwards partying before qualifying, is there a worry that he has become complacent, thinking he's already one hand on the championship? Yes, maybe. We'll have to see in this race, because I did have a word and I said, look, we can't be having that. I know he turned it around for the race, but I can't be having that. I need locked in, focused drivers, So there's definitely, we'll see what happens. And if something happens here at Issavanini in South Africa, and we've got a driver who says, oh, I've been out on the town, we might have to think about what that means for the driver lineup next season. We'll have a think. Giovanni Russo has now overtaken the late great Henny Holgersen in points this season. What will he need to do in the remaining 3 races to retain his seat at night? Or are the team planning on recruiting from scratch for the final season of the decade? To be honest, I think I'm planning on doing a vote. Just like we did last season. Where I ask you guys to prioritize your driver picks and put them in the comments, and then I'll add them up I may not do it the exact same format. We might have one driver that we pick or that we keep already. Like, for example, we might keep Edward King. If he wins the championship, it would be harsh to let him go. But then again, we did that with Nielsen. So we're not afraid of doing anything. In fact, guys, I'll ask you guys what you think we should do. This is a good time in the season to get some feedback. Do we want a completely fresh slate of drivers and engineer and crew chief, or do we want to kind of just continue on as we have kind of done? Because, you know, I do want to RP and like kind of, I don't think we would have let Anders Nielsen go a couple of seasons ago, but I made the decision. So I want to know what you guys think, basically. Tell me what you think and we will make a decision. Next up from Cody, all hail King Edward. Good questions though, Aaron. Thank you. There has been a growing sentiment that the Knight Constructor has been the best in the world over the last 4 seasons. In that time span, all Knight racers outside of maybe Nielsen have had their best season in a Knight car. Russo, Lefebvre, Bregman, Cilliers are all examples of drivers that seemingly peaked at Knight racing. Is the Knight car just that good? Yeah, arguably you could say drivers like Holgersen and Nielsen actually had better seasons when they were elsewhere. Arguably, I'm not quite sure. Nielsen won a very dominant championship with us. So I'm not quite sure. I would probably include him as well. I think what it is that we just race slightly differently. Like, how do I don't know. I think I try and keep to my driver's strengths as much as possible. And ultimately, I think that does boost rewards. And we try and build the right parts and we're quite strategic. Strategy is important to me. So I think we're just a good team and we try and think outside the box as well, you know? I don't know. That's a tough question. That's a good question. Interesting. Okay, next question from Punk. Pedal, I just got it wrong again. Oh my word. Peter, Pickle Picker. Oh, I'm done. Peter, Pickle Picker from Pickle Papers. After a long period of hiding from Interpol, it seems that the notorious saboteur Rex car was spotted next to the Nielsen crash. Would you happen to know anything about it? I mean, maybe Rex was involved. That was, like I say, an inexplicable DNF for Nielsen. So I don't know if there was some underhand stuff going on. I don't know. We had a comment from Giorgio about trying to do a night racing speedrun. We could do that. We certainly could do that. The thing I'm most interested in at the minute, when this career mode is done, I'm probably going to try and do some of the achievement career modes. So one of them will be with Ezzolini and a full team of Italian drivers and trying to win that championship. And Italian crew chief and Italian engineer with Ezzolini. So I think that might be the next one I play. But I may not kind of schedule it in the same way. You know, I might run 2 career modes alongside each other and focus on the achievements in one and then do a different in another. I'm not really decided, guys. My channel is, like, it's all over the place with what I play. I do have a schedule, like I have a spreadsheet that I like to keep to, but a part of that spreadsheet is I, like, ask myself if I'm sitting down and I don't have something I need to record, what do I want to play? It literally says on the spreadsheet, it says, what do you want to play? What do you want to record? And sometimes it will be, I want to play some Football Manager. So I'll sit down and I'll record that. It'll be, I want to play some Witcher. And I'll play that and I'll just chill out. I won't have the face cam on. I won't have the mic on. I'll just chill out. You know, I'll put a YouTube video on of whatever I'm watching. Like, it could be like a Song of Ice and Fire theory video. It could be a historical video. It could be a current events video, a YouTube drama video. And I'll just chill out. So I try and keep my channel like really kind of light-hearted, inclusive. You know, I want comments from everywhere, play different games, and, you know, try and put up good content at a regular rate as well, you know? So yeah, it's, well, yeah. I don't really know what the plan is, but that's okay. That's okay. Thank you for the question. Now, next up, Hitchin Baz says, amazing end to the race. I was screaming to push Russo, and even if he's not in the zone, you can push him a bit. The result, however, was what you wanted. Congrats. The thing is with Russo is, like, he's reckless as well. You see this trait here. It says reckless, so I don't want to push him too much. If I push him too much and he sends it, I've only got myself to blame. Or maybe you. Or maybe it's your fault. Question. I know you like your sports games, but have you thought of branching out to other genres to bring in a wider... We were just talking about this. I know you do your chill stream with The Witcher. I'm not a big fan of first-person games. I really love casual RPGs like Stardew Valley and City Builders and other games. Okay, so... I do have some City Builders on the channel. We've got Banished going. I play Minecraft. I really am thinking about playing Hollow Knight. I don't know. I will say, though, there is in the community tab. Now, I'm going to click away from my game screen for a second here. If I go to my channel screen and then click on the posts section, the community tab section, the posts section, I actually have a post up there that says, have a suggestion? Go for it. If there's a game or series you'd like to see on the channel, just leave a comment on the post. So go to that post and leave a comment. I can't promise every suggestion will turn into a full series, but I will certainly take all suggestions into consideration. After all, I may be the content creator, but it's you guys, the audience, who decide what does well on the channel. And that's why Golden Lap is still here and has been for so long, because the videos are doing well, they get comments, I'm able to engage with you guys. And that's the best part of YouTube. Honestly, playing the games, yes, that's super fun. But you don't start a YouTube channel to just play games. You start a YouTube channel to engage with other people, with an audience, with a community, and that's the best part of it. So if you've got suggestions, guys, seriously, go and go to the channel page, go to the community tab. It's not called that anymore, I don't think. I think it's called like the posts tab now. Go into that post and leave your suggestions, and I will see them. Trust me, I will see them, and I may not, but I will definitely take into consideration. So yeah, there we go. Press conference. Second question. You had a 1-2 finish in the last race, and you strengthened your lead in both championships. Do you think you've got enough to claim both titles? No. Edward King, I think, can do it. The team standings, I'm less sure. I'm less certain. Okay. A Chesshead says, Golden Lap is a bad advert for tyres. You need 2 or 3 sets to get through an hour of racing. Yeah, it's not the best. My guess is that hard tyres are made of cheddar, medium tyres are made of camembert, and soft tyres are cottage cheese. Yeah, look, I don't know. Sometimes the tyres feel like maybe they don't have as much of an effect. Like, you're very quick on mediums, for example. Sometimes we'll set the fastest lap on mediums. Maybe if there was a bit more of a disparity between the tyre types, they would be a little bit more important. But for the most part, we have a pretty solid strategy of mediums, hards, mediums, or mediums, 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 or hards, mediums, something like that. I've just realized this press conference is going on a long time, so well, I'm chatting. Look, I'm having a good time. Laughing Dead with the last question. If, when tuning, you have 1 point you can't spend, does it roll over? That's actually been replied to. Yes, if you look, when they go into the tuning, there is always a gap when there are no points. So that's actually been replied to. I can stop yapping away. Let's get into the pre-race. Thank you, everybody, for leaving a comment. That video had about 16 comments on it, a dozen questions, and that is why the press conference has taken 20 minutes. But look, like I said, guys, this is why you do YouTube. You know, you don't do YouTube if you don't want to engage with other people who like games and, you know, want to share opinions and thoughts and stuff like that. You know, that's the best part of YouTube. Here we go, pre-race. So, we are going to build a steering part because currently Edward King is running the worst part that we've got. So he's going to get the... Sorry, it's going to go like that. Yes. Or 57% there. Let's upgrade. That's the only upgrade we can do. Above 60% is where we like it. That's our sweet spot. 3,500. Giovanni Russo is still got the best parts for now. Oh, Ezzolini attempted to sabotage our steering, but they were caught. They lose points and money. Paul Woods, party too hard. Okay, can we go out on the soft tyres real quick? We can. If we could just get a lap in on the soft tyres, then we should be able to... Well, I don't know, it depends. There might be a second lap where you're able to put in a fast lap. Let's see what we can do. Lap 1. Here we go. Russo's not focused up, but Edward King should be. Purple sectors. No one else is putting in purple at the moment. We'll see what Anders Nielsen does. No, look, that's green as well. So, Russo in 4th. That's okay. Edward King. Okay, we need to be speedy here. So, we are going to focus on just pure numbers. Of which these numbers are kind of poop, to be honest. And then send him out again. And we go again. Oh, lovely. Because if we can get another lap in before we move to the inters and the times get slower. Oh, King can't focus. Dang it. So that's white sectors. Russo is putting in green sectors. But the person we need to worry about, of course, is Anders Nielsen. So Russo goes second. That's brilliant. But Anders Nielsen is who we're worrying about. On their lap now. White sector 1. We might be okay. We might have got away with it by putting in that lap very early. We might have just taken 1 and 2. We might have locked out the front row just by putting in early lap times. Shows how if you are, you know, smart about it, if you're ahead of the game, you can get some good lap times out. Oh, Mendes has gone faster than Russo, but it is still soft tyres at the moment. You can see it's not quite there yet. Let's see what Edward King does. No, white sector. Russo, white sector. Okay. It does not really look like we are going to be able to improve on our lap time, but that would mean Edward King starting at the front at this race, which would be a very decisive race. Okay, we're going to have to go onto the inters now and try. Look at these numbers. These are awful. Edward King's numbers, they have been appalling. They still are. They're having a terrible time of it. We've got to improve. We've got to remember, you've still got to tune up. Even if we've got the current pole position, we've got to tune up and just be better than we're currently doing. Okay. It's still not great. It's still not great. I will be honest. We're slacking. Who is asleep at the wheel? We are slacking. Someone's not focused up. Someone's not locked in. Someone's playing Gallagher on the back monitor. They thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. King's in the zone. But still, it's only white sector times and outlaps. Now, some drivers still on the soft tyres. That's curious. No, Nielsen's gone to the inters. Nielsen understands. Okay, we've got to focus up here. 4 and a 3. Gets 11. Lovely. Good. This is already a much better show of it. We turned off the Gallagher. We focused up. Send King out. This is a relatively short lap of about 1:15 now. Oh, there we go. Yes. And again, brilliant. There we go. That's it. That's the good stuff. Okay. Golden tune on the engine for Giovanni Russo. Can I move the... If I move the track like that, does that look good? Oh, yeah, that looks great. That's all right. That can be seen. Just checking. Yep, it can be seen. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. I need a cup of tea. I don't have a cup of tea. Do I have a water? I do. I've got water. Okay. Okay, Edward King is back in the pits. Right, that's a good one. So is that. So is that. Done. Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but we've got the steering sorted, and that's just half the battle. Half the battle, that's 1/3 of the battle. Now, Russo. Tuning up. Good. Look at these numbers, they're so small. Oh, that's unlucky. Okay, I need a drink. Good. Stuck behind Henri Lefebvre. Jan Schaub has crashed. Well, the cars are out there. Okay, there we go. We spent the 1 point. So I want them to just quickly run round anyway, set the laps, even if the laps are going to be incredibly slow. And then we'll come back and we'll be able to tune up and go again. So that'll do. That'll do nicely. Okay, there's no way we're getting this steering done, is there? It's just not enough. We need too much. We need too much. It's going to be very difficult. Giovanni Russo resting. No, no, no. Get going. Good. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's lovely. Brilliant. Okay. About 50 needed. We're only going to get one opportunity with Edward King to get that golden tune going. There's no, look at the lap times now, guys. The lap times 120, 118. Nilsson somehow went faster. I don't understand Anders Nilsson. Sometimes he does things that are just outrageous. How has he set his fastest lap on an inters? On a set of inters? Okay, Russo. Oh, that's good. Actually got much closer than you would have thought. To be fair to the lad, he's done well there. Okay, Edward King is pitting. We'll get this last opportunity, so that's all right. Oh, these are terrible. Yeah, they weren't good. They were not good. They were very unlucky. But either way, out he goes. We are going to set our last laps, and let's see if there's anything that changes the current status quo. Okay, I had to take a break, but I am back, and we are just seeing whether or not these last laps change anything, and it really does not look like it's going to be. And it's such a weird feature of the golden lap. Obviously, in the real world of F1, you don't get to just sit on your early lap times. No, you do not. Each qualifying session, Q1, 2, 3, you must set a new lap, which means you don't get to just sit on the rain has got, you know, like over that 20 minutes or whatever it is, 15 minutes. I don't actually know how long each session is. You've got, like, you're competing. The conditions are the same for everyone, more or less. So that's a feature of this game that maybe I'm a bit less in groove with, I guess. I don't know. Either way, it's race time. It's race o'clock. Here we go. 66 laps around the Isovanini racetrack. It's going to be starting on the overcast forecast, going into rain. So, we're starting 1 and 3. We know that. That means we don't want to start on the inters. We want to start on the softs. Or maybe the mediums. Yes, I think we want to start on the mediums. We want to start on a push, of course. And what we will do is we'll try and line it up to move on to some inters here. Or if this next forecast says the rain is going to disappear again and the track is going to dry out, then we will go on to maybe another set of soft tires. Dry tires. And risk it. You know, we don't want to make an extra pit stop if we don't need to. Gabriel Ascasco from April partied a little bit too hard. So did Carl Hoffman. We're going to watch Edward King at the beginning. We are pushing. We are burning. It is lights out. Away we go. And Russo is in the zone, but moving backwards at a rate of knots because he is now in 5th. Make that 4th. Okay. And he's back up to 3rd. So he's got a very fast car. But does he have the ability to back that up? That's probably the biggest question when it comes to Giovanni Russo. Does he have the ability to back it up on the track? Now we're going to calm it down, and calm it down. Now, the fastest lap currently sits with Nilsson, who is, alongside Rinaldi, the only car alongside us going on the medium tyres. Everyone else has gone hards or soft. There are only 4 cars on the mediums, and even then, mostly they're on the hard tyres. Curious, because I would have thought the mediums are the best bet to match up, you know, to line up with a pit stop. Unfortunately, Edward King has lost the position to Anders Nilsson, but remember what I said a long time ago at the beginning of the episode. He only needs 4th at the next 3 races to confirm the win. And the fact that he is currently running in 2nd is a-okay. What we're going to do is we're going to turn Russo onto a do not fight teammate. Just in case Mendes does get past Edward King, I don't want Russo fighting him. I want King to know he's got rearguard action. He's got a defender. He's got someone back at base on his side. And that is Giovanni Russo. Even though it's counterproductive or perhaps counterintuitive to give Russo the best parts and then make him play second fiddle in the choir, the point of that is I still need Russo to finish as high as we possibly can get him in order to win the team standings as well. So there is a method to the madness. But that phrase is often a little bit confusing because if it's genuine madness, then what are you hoping to achieve? I don't know. There is method, however, to the strategy. We have got a strategy. We're not going in willy-nilly, no plan. No, we do have a strategy. Okay, King is trying to get past Nilsson and unfortunately, in doing so, has lost the position to Mendes because Nilsson held King up on that corner and Mendes went, I'll have some of that. Although he probably didn't say it in that accent. Okay, so we're in the next couple of laps. We will find out the forecast here. If it says it's going to be rainy again, if it says 3 times forecast rain in a row, we might even try. It is going to be... Oh, is that rain? I think that is... So that is rain level 2, let's say. And then that is rain level 3. But then that's rain level... I can't tell. That looks like rain level 2 again. So it is going to get... It is going to increase. The rain is coming down and it's here to stay. Edward King has got Mendes again. I do wonder... I do wonder what Anders Nilsson's strategy is going to be. And I think that is a valid question. Russo is back down. Is down to 6th. I'm not overly worried about it, and the reason for that is we are saving fuel. So Russo will be able to push at the end of the race, and King is in a solid position as things stand. So I'm not in any kind of distress at the moment. We are looking good, and we're looking to kind of play the long game. Okay, there we go. That's the first card deciding it's time for the Inters. Mendes and Lefebvre both have gone to the Inters. We're at 2 times speed. I'm going to zoom out. Edward King. Okay. Nilsson went to the Inters there. He went to the Inters a little bit early. Let me just move the track. I think, is that better? No, that's not better because you can't actually see the top right. It's got to be down here. Is that... Yeah, that's the best. Okay. You can see the entire track. Okay. So back to ×1 speed. Nilsson's gone onto the Inters early. If we look at it now, it actually says, Inters, we're not ready for them yet. So we're going to stay out for maybe another 2 laps on these dry tyres. Because I don't actually think we're losing that much time. I don't think we're losing much time at all. As things stand. You can see their last laps from the other teams are about the same as ours. So we're not losing time every lap. Let's see what the lap Anders Nilsson is able to put in. 1:12. Okay, but we've put in a 1:13. So again, we're not really losing much time. We look at it now, it says it's just about crossover time. Okay, Russo's going to pit first. I want King to do 1 more lap, and we're going to push and burn on that lap, and then pit. Just to really try and, I don't know, squeeze as much out of these tyres as we possibly can. Slow pit stop for Palmer, unfortunately. And okay, there we go. So calm it down. Onto the Inters we go. We're going to be on the Inters until it's time to go to the wets. There was no real opportunity. And would you look at that? Edward King has come out in front of Anders Nilsson. Yes. Yes. That was strategy. Staying out on the dry tyre. We weren't losing time. In fact, all it meant was we were able to pit, push, pit, go onto the Inters at the correct time, and overtake in the pits. Edward King leads the race. And now it comes down to... Oh, look at that. They're going on the wets. So some cars on the hard tyres have said, we've stayed out long enough. Now it's time for the full wets. Interesting. How are we looking on the burn? We are -3 laps, so not just there. And then on -2.8. So about -3 laps. Unfortunately, King has gone backwards a little bit now. That's unfortunate. But maybe those extra laps on the dry tyre will help us out later. You never know. They might just be the difference. King's in the zone. You know what? I think it's okay to push and burn here. Because we're not going to use these Inters all the way to the end anyway. It looks like with another forecast of rain, it's going to be wet to the end. So we may as well have a little bit of a push and a burn. And another lap of that. To use up these Inters. In fact, just a push. I'm not going to burn. Just a push. It doesn't really look like King is making much. But then again, when we're able to burn for multiple laps in a row and really build up a head of steam, maybe that will be a different story. So Russo, you can push now. Russo in 5th is just a really good team result. Very good team result. I'm very happy with that. Edward King is at the moment doing just about what he needs to do, you would say. You know, he's not being outrageous. He's not leading the race start to finish, anything like that. He's lost a couple of positions. He's then won them back and then lost them again. But ultimately, he is doing what he needs to do in order to try and win this championship. And at the minute, he is in the driver's seat to do that, to win the championship. Okay, Russo, let's calm you down. I've let that one go a little bit too high there, actually. So if he had had a crash there, that would have been my bad. King can't focus. The rain is only going to continue and get worse. And it is definitely going to be wet tyres at the end of this race. So at the moment, it's almost out of Inter's territory. But the wet tyres don't really go to the end. So we've got to try and survive on these Inters for a little while longer. We will have a judge and kind of have a look at when Nielsen, Woods and Mendes and Henri Lefebvre, when they all decide it's time to move on to the wet tyres. We've got a lot at stake here for Edward King. A lot at stake. He's in the zone. That's good. Okay. Yeah, so is Russo. Good. Okay, so Russo's actually up to 4th because Mendes has made that call. And so has Henri Lefebvre. They've gone to the wets. But if we go to the wet tyre now, it does not go to the end. So we just need, let's say, lap 36, lap 37. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking so. Lap 36, 37, maybe even 38. Oh, I've dropped my pen. There's still a lot of driving to go. The wet tyres are obviously the best tyre right now. That is definitely true. You can see that the lap time Mendes is putting in is actually faster. But is Mendes gaining enough time that they won't have to pit? Okay, so King, they've made that decision on lap 36 to go in. They were losing too much time. I guess that's what they are thinking. They're losing too much time. It's about 5 seconds a lap. You know what? Okay, that's fine. We've made it to lap 36. Can we get one more lap? One more lap out of Edward King and really give us that kind of chance at the end. So we are going on to the wet tyres. That is true for both drivers. Mendes has overtaken Russo, but yeah, that's to be expected. But will Edward King come out in front of them? I don't think he will. Mendes gained a lot by pitting early. A lot. Mendes now leads the race. Mendes was down in 4th? Maybe even 5th? But Mendes has gained a bucket load of position and now leads this race. Can we burn? Not yet. We are very close. Okay, Russo can burn all the way to the end on these wet tyres. Brilliant. King is very close. Negative 0.1. So one more lap and Edward King is going to be ready to go. We're not going to push those tyres too much. We do not want to be risking a puncture or anything at the end of the race. Okay. Let's go. I just want to make sure it goes to like 0.1. I need it to go to 0.1. We there yet? Yes, there we go. Okay. Slow pit stop for Bruno Ribeiro. That's unfortunate. Oh, there's the yellow flag. Okay, that doesn't really change much. All that means is the burn and push is going to be more available to us at the end of this race. So Edward King is full burn and now we'll have a few more opportunities to push because those tyres will have a couple of laps now where we're saving rubber. Yes. Okay. King's got to make some overtakes. That's what's got to happen. The podium is worth a lot right now. Green flag in 30 seconds. 10 seconds. Here we go. Green flag. We are watching Edward King like a hawk. There's already... That's Paul Woods just in front. Right there. Very close. Very close indeed. My goodness. You can get past Paul Woods. I know you can. Go on, get the job done. He's in the zone and I'm not pushing him. Why am I not pushing him? Because I am a Wally. Go on. You're right on his tail. Right on his tail. Here we go. This is the chance. There we go. Oh, blocked off again. Okay, calm it down. Calm it down. Calm those tires. We do not want a puncture at the end of this race. If we have to settle for 4th, we will settle for 4th and go again next race. We know it's in the rain. We know Anders Nilsson likes to race in the rain. King's in the zone. Here we go. Not that many laps to go. Yes, you can. You can overtake Paul Woods. Come on. Calm it down. Russo is genuinely catching these guys now. The gap is 4.4. I would not be surprised if that kind of comes down and comes down and comes down. I think it's quite obvious at the moment that Edward King is faster than Paul Woods. He gets knocked back. He then immediately makes up the time, gets back on Paul Woods' gearbox, but can't get the move done. So it's definitely the case that he is faster. He just has to get the move done. And even look at that. Ahead of that, Nilsson is now in the picture as well. So without a doubt, there we go. There's the move done. King's made it. King has made it. Now it's time to go and chase down Anders Nilsson as well. And in the meantime, let's see if Russo can also get Paul Woods. Because that would mean a 3rd and a 4th. And more team points and more likelihood of us winning that team championship. So, okay, back to Edward King. Because we are very close to Anders Nilsson here. And is that the move? Not quite. Almost lost out to Paul Woods there. Paul Woods almost lost out to Russo. So this is all over the place. Russo did get Paul Woods very briefly there. And then Woods got that position back. 13 laps to go. Nilsson is 3.5 seconds up the road. Which is barely anything. Russo's in the zone. Okay, go on. Get Paul Woods. Let's get him. Let's have him. You're on his gearbox. Here we go. There we go. That's the chance. Not quite. Down the tees. Through Roadhouse. Right on his gearbox. Over there we go. Past him. Over the grill. There we go. Get the move done. Hold that position. And I want to see you build up a little bit of a gap on Paul Woods. The gap down to 6th. King has got Nilsson while I wasn't watching. No. I was focused on Russo. And now the gap to Mendes is 2.8 seconds. Where is he? There he is. He's just down the road. Not much at all. Not much at all. It's nothing. He's already overtaken him. Sorry, not overtaken him. He's already cut the gap and he's already right on his tail. Mendes is pushing and burning. And those tyres are worn, more worn than my tyres. So Mendes might be forcing himself to pit again. Not what he wants to do. No doubt about it, that is not what he wants to do. I think Edward King is in a very good position here to get this win. I really think he is. He's just got to focus up on a couple of laps and that win is there for him. And there it is because Mendes went into the pits. The 3-stop strategy, I don't think it's what you want to be doing. Now, there is a little bit to say about Mendes being able to make up the gap and get himself back into the podium. But that's a I don't know, is that a tall order? It might be. It might be a tall order. At the moment, Edward King is running 7 and a bit seconds down the road. Russo is trying to catch Nilsson. Mendes is trying to catch Woods. It's been a good race, and strategically, I think we've played it very well. I think we have. You do not want to be 3-stopping. You do not. Just no. I think Woods is going to have to stop in a second as well. there is even a chance that Nielsen has to as well. We're not going to push. We are burning. And I think Russo's going to get Nielsen. I think he is. He's very close. Mendes has got Woods, and Woods has got like nothing left on his tyres. He's going to have to pit. King's in the zone. Woods is still not pitting. They've got nothing on those tyres. I mean, we've not got a lot on our tyres either, but they've genuinely got nothing. Almost on the final lap. Russo, final lap. Here we go. Russo, can you get Nielsen on this last lap? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to tell him to push on the last couple of corners just because. But that is how you win this race. What a race there. The 3-stop cost Wayland that race. It did. There's no two ways about it. It did. They are the only drivers in the top, however many, top 9. I mean, Thompson, oh yeah, these guys are lapped. Yeah, top 6, 2 drivers with a 3-stop. They're fast. Look at them. They were fast. They got it wrong in the strategy. So, Edward King takes 25 points. Giovanni Russo takes 15 points. That means we take a total of 40 points. Throw the champagne everywhere. Well done, guys. Another double podium finish for the team. We take 40 points. And all the money. Anders Nielsen is now on 176. Sorry, Edward King is on 176. Anders Nielsen, the maximum he can finish on, 25 plus 25 is 50, is 175. Anders Nielsen would need to win both races and take a golden point, and Edward King would have to DNF both races. Because the maximum that Anders Nielsen can get is 177. We need 2 points for Edward King. That is it. That is it. Team standings, we are on 252. Wayland are on 190. Ezzolini on 180. The maximum amount of points available is 88, which would take Wayland to 278. We're at 252, which is 26 points behind that. So we need 27 points. We need 27 points at the next race to take the title with 1 race to spare. Can we do it? I don't know. We're going to give it our best go. Thank you for watching today's episode, guys. It is a long one. I do apologize. I've yapped a lot. Hopefully you guys don't mind. I mean, also leave your opinions if, maybe stop the yapping or something. But yeah, let me know, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time.